Good afternoon, Maverick traders. This is Rob Reinold. Here we are, May 13th, right in the middle of May. Let's jump into the markets. In this session, we're going to go over the news of the day. We're going to break down all of the currencies, +3 to -3. And then, as always, we pit together the strongest versus the weakest for our trades.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
Well, ultimately, we got another extension in the equity gains. So we broke above the high base just a little bit ago yesterday, and then we just added more onto it. And I talked about the price action yesterday, how we just never pulled back. It tells you that there are institutional buyers there, and they're still there. So we did see those equities continue to be bullish. We got UK employment was better than expected on the number of unemployed, but also the wages paid was a little hot, so a little bit inflationary out of the UK. We also got inflation out of the US with CPI, and it was below expectations. Estimates were for +0.3. It came in at +0.2. Estimates were +2.4 year over year, came in at +2.3. So again, this is a Goldilocks number. Not too hot, not too cold. The market definitely liked the number. What did this mean for the Forex market? Well, the dollar that was up 1% yesterday simply gave it all back. The CAD that was up yesterday simply gave it all back. So that was just one day up, one day down. If you remember, the yen was the weakest currency, but you can see it did not recover all that it lost, which tells me it still remains weak. Swiss franc remains weak, but not really going anywhere. And today we got Aussie and Kiwi finally caught a bid, and they kind of caught a bid out of nowhere. So I was really looking at the pound against the yen, and that was a decent trade over the last 24 hours. Across the markets, we had the S&P up about 0.75%. That's a nice gain. Crypto, let's take a look at crypto to see if it is at now breaking out of a base or if it's still in that base. And then gold actually had a positive today, and oil is creeping higher. As far as the cryptos go, Ethereum had the move. We'll take a look at that chart. And we'll also take a look at the chart on Bitcoin, and we'll see that it's still in its base. But the question is Ethereum the one to buy now? Looking at the market overall, we are at a +2. We went to a +2 this last weekend. And everything I talked about, how we had this durable bottom, I called it. We had this rally. We had this run. We had this base. And we had a breakout. And again, this candle gapping up and closing higher than it opened tells you that there was buyers all day long. This candle, same thing. You can see we got a little bit of an upper shadow here. That to me is telling me we're running a little bit out of momentum here. It would not surprise me if we topped out here, maybe had a day or two of a pullback, some sort of base here, maybe down to 5,800. The market is strong, but I think it's getting a little tired at this point. Let's take a look at what is on the calendar over the next 24 hours. And there is not much. We have Aussie wage prices tonight, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then it's not until tomorrow night, Wednesday at 9:30, that we have Aussie employment report. Over the next 24 hours, I don't see a whole lot of energy and any reason to be really actively trading. It just isn't great. We've had this big explosion, these big moves. I think we're in a period of consolidation where we're likely to consolidate for a couple days before we have that expansion again. So just on a macro viewpoint, I'm not super excited about any trades at the moment. But let's go ahead and jump into them. I want to look at crypto first. So the big question is crypto breaking out or ready to break out of this base? So here is a daily chart. I'm going to switch this to my velocity scores. And you can see here that we are getting a high base. We're getting high basing action here. We are not breaking out. It could be, looking at a 4-hour chart, you can see maybe breaking out, but we're hitting up against this resistance. High bases are tough when you're directional trading because you don't know when they're going to break out. And you get these kind of candles, like right here where they break out and then fail. This is where I like to take little sizes in a pyramiding method. Like imagine if you didn't take your full position here, but you took a third of it, a half of it. So you took a third of the position and then it failed. Well, guess what? That's a very comfortable pullback to where you don't have to worry all that much because you didn't have your full position on. And then when it comes up here, and let's say you get another candle that runs up, you grab your other third and then it fails. Now all of a sudden it's more comfortable. Hopefully this pullback is a little bit more shallow and then it breaks out a third time. You grab it and this is the time when it really breaks out. That's how you trade these bases. No one knows exactly when they're going to break out. They break out and fail. Take little positions, and then that makes those pullbacks, if they do fail on that breakout, a lot easier to sit through. So Bitcoin to me is not there. I want to take a look at Ethereum, and you can see Ethereum has broken out. It has broken out. It's got the momentum. This is where you want to be. This is where you want to be. The question is, where's the next bit of resistance? Let's see if we can take a look on a daily chart. And it looks like right up here into this 2800 area is going to be the next resistance. And you can see that's not too far away. I don't love the risk reward here on this one. I just don't. For those of you that are willing to be a little bit more long-term, saying, hey, I think it could struggle here at 2800, but I think ultimately it's going up to 3000 or 3200. Okay, but you're definitely going to have a much looser stop on that if that is your target. Litecoin has been playing some catch-up. I also like Litecoin here, but ultimately, same thing. We need to wait for a breakout. We need to wait for some signal that is actually going to move. If you want to start taking small positions here, take a third of a position, a fourth of a position, yeah, limp into it, and then when it finally does break out and gets moving, then you can continue to add to it. I do like cryptos here. It's just not quite yet. It's just not there. We're still consolidating. We're still basing. I think there's going to be another run, but I don't think it's going to be now because I think the market overall is a little tired. And the market correlation is definitely going to help Bitcoin break out to the upside. So if I think the market's going to consolidate, I think that most assets are likely to consolidate, telling me that this is not where I want to be hunting. Coming here to, I'm just going to go through these all really quick here. Yen is moving. I love short yen. Dollar is one day up, one day down. You know what? I don't want any part of that unless I'm looking to do some intraday trading. But I'm not looking to do that. No interest in it. Swiss franc is still looking weak. You can see we just broke down from a low base. We didn't really get any push, but everything is telling us that it's still weakening. I still like yen and Swiss franc short. Euro short is okay. It's not great. Pound long still looks great. The problem is we don't have anything that looks wonderful on the upside for bullishness. CAD is going to be the same as the dollar. One day up, one day down. Not interested. And the Aussie and Kiwi both look good on the 4-hour chart. But then when we get into the dailies, we start to see, well, Aussie looks much better on the daily, breaking out above this resistance. But when you take a look at the Kiwi on the daily chart, it's still well below this. For me, Aussie is number one, pound number two, and then for the short side, yen number one, Swiss franc number two. Here's the velocity scoreboard. Pound Aussie against yen and Swiss franc. Those are going to be our pairs that we're going to focus on here over the next 24 to 48 hours. Whenever we have two currencies and we don't know which one is going to be number one or number two, you simply pair them up. So I'm going to pair up pound against Aussie. Pound Aussie, you can see that pound is weakening a little bit. They're pretty much the same, but pound is weakening a little bit, which means the Aussie is the strong one. And then we have two that are weak. So we pair up the Swiss franc against the yen, and we can see the Swiss franc is rising against the yen. So it confirms my call is that Aussie is number one, pound is number two, yen short is number one, and Swiss franc short is number two, which means Aussie yen is the trade. And you can see we're starting to poke up above this resistance here. We do have a couple big days of expansion. Great thing about currencies is we know that these can last for quite a while. And on the 4-hour chart, we're getting a little bit of a pullback here over the last 8 hours, which I love, releasing a little bit of that pressure. To me, this is simply a buy when it starts to get momentum back. Do we pull back to 94, 95 area? Probably not. Maybe. I think somewhere in this 95.20 area. I want to see a reversal candle. I want to see a green candle. I think this thing's ready to go. Just we need to have this pullback go all the way through. Aussie yen, I like quite a bit. Let's just pull up pound Swiss franc. And look at that. Pound Swiss franc looks very similar. So it's not like you're making really different trades here. Pound Swiss franc broke out of that support, came back, bounced, new high. So we're likely looking at 115.50. Sorry, 115.50, somewhere in this, 111.50. 111.50. So not much more of a pullback. I like this thing anywhere here, but I'm not going to buy it on the way down. I'm going to wait for it to bottom out. Make sure it holds this level. I want to buy it up here at, 111.80 when it rebounds off this level and starts to move higher. So those are the trades here. And I don't think there's really going to be anything other than Ethereum on the long side. To wrap this up, the market is bullish. Cryptos are resting except for Ethereum. And we got yen and Swiss franc weak. That is the outlook here for the next 24 hours. Goodbye, everyone.